This is a long one with very small handwriting. But hi, sir. I couldn't find an E address, so I'll try this. I'm a grandma, but my 6'7" son. I'm not your target audience. I don't have a target audience. I have a lot of grandmas. So, but my 6'7" son, nice, introduced me to you and Vox, and you guys are interesting. My note today is regarding your comments on women and anxiety and their proper role. You're pretty right on. I'll try to be concise in giving you a perfect example. That is my sister and myself. I have a bachelor's degree from a small, faux religious school, but always was most concerned with marriage and family. Even though I never had a date in high school, somehow, though, God blessed me with an amazing man. By the time I finished college and we raised 4 kids, 3 of whom are now married. 4th one wants to be. With a handful of grandchildren now in our lives as well. I love it. We homeschooled our 4 over 23 years and went to do honors work at the college level and are now hardworking, positive citizens in their community. 3 of them active in church, all the homeowners, none of them looking for anyone to pay their way. The only debt each of them carry is mortgage. Nice. My husband and I have been debt-free for years and have a house that we try to share generously on 1 acre on a small airstrip where we can have a small plane that he has earned working hard in his own business over the decades. Legendary. We keep farm animals at the great-grandparents' place so we can raise some of our own food, with husband as sole breadwinner. I have been free to try to make our house a genuine home over the years, and at this point I'm able to help with small tasks to ease his life and assist with my elderly parents. Awesome. My sister is an engineering PhD who divorced decades ago with no kids or grandchildren. I don't know why the divorce, except when she was getting her PhD, her ex was content with his master's, so he also did not come from the same faith, though she has rejected that now too. She has a boy haircut and lives alone in an upscale neighborhood with several pets, but has confessed that she also has debt and no savings. Having squandered by her own admission her female engineering PhD salary over the years on dogs and cats and travel. She is paranoid, controlling, and since President Trump was elected, she has turned on any family members who have disagreed with her on political views. So at a time in life when relationships should be important to her, even closest family or not, if they disagree with her. Right, exactly. She's never wrong and has a history of listening to and trusting all the wrong people, and also not listening to and not trusting all the people she should listen to and trust. She is known in the family for creating her own reality and expecting the rest of us to go along with it. Sounds like Caitlyn Jenner. No matter how it differs from actual truth. Having attended university in southern Wisconsin and Minnesota, she foolishly drank the feminist Kool-Aid when she was young and has paid the price with her life. Coming up on age 60, as we both are now, with real old age looming, which would you rather be? She is uber educated, has a long resume, a great paycheck, and not one person to come home to, grow old with, or pass a legacy to. Having rejected our family over politics and jealousy, her social life outside of work hours is primarily Facebook, where she can rant freely and delete anyone who challenges her. I have no fancy notions after my name, no LinkedIn profile online, no books to my credit, no paycheck with my name on it, and no professional reputation of consequence. But I have a husband who's given most of his life to me, a family we can rightly be proud of, who are multiplying now, no debt, no regrets, and a firm grasp on reality. I also know the one true God from whom we get true confidence and encouragement. Thanks for your efforts and standing strong. Keep encouraging your audience back to a biblical view of life and family. You're doing God's work. Barb. Thank you, Barb. Very sad. This is a beautiful letter. I hope this doesn't sound arrogant. I do pray for my sister, but at this point, she is unresponsive to any efforts we make with her. Yep, she's chosen her path. Nothing you can do. I get it. But that's it is a beautiful letter. It's like, what do you want? Do you want Sarah McLachlan pets and credentials and debt and self-righteous Facebook indignation, or do you want life? And that's the reality. That's a real reality. This is like a biblical parable for the modern day. It is. And if you think grabblers are something new, you understand there's a parable in the Bible that I was reading last night where a guy's growing wheat and some little grabbler comes in and starts sowing weeds with his wheat for no reason other than being a little dickhead. And so then the message is, wait till it's grown, because if you don't know in the beginning, you don't know what's the weed or the wheat. And so when it's grown, that's when you take out the weeds and burn it. And then you eat the wheat, which is a metaphor for, you guys get it. Everyone gets it. All right. But just think about how much of a grabber that is, where you're growing wheat and someone just comes in and goes, oh, and just starts planting weeds. It's like, hey, asshole, what are you doing? He's like, oh, go, 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 go. This is all I want. The lady is writing, homeschooling, and raising kids. Yeah, you want to live. Another one story that I was reading last night is the prodigal son. It's a wonderful story. There's so much homesteading in the Bible. That's the way humans are supposed to live, right? So the prodigal son is about two boys and their father, and they're living off the land, kind of like how I'm trying to create here, And so the one son, the younger son, is like, I want to go to the city and run around with Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz. Can I have my inheritance before the father dies? And the father's like, we will miss you, but okay. And he gives the young son his inheritance, and the young son runs off and spends it all on DMT and lollipops and sodomy behind dumpsters with Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, right? So what happens? Starvation hits the land, and he's now in a foreign land, and he misses his family. His fancy pants are tattered. His other brother stayed home the whole time, and he can't stop regretting, thinking, like, will they take me? My life, he's getting scraps. He's eating pig scraps. And he's like, my father's servants live better than I currently do, right? So his father always missed his son. And it takes a father to understand how true that is. It doesn't matter. You will always miss your son. So the father's always looking down the road. Hopefully my son will return. And finally the son returns, and the father rejoices and says, yes, the prodigal son has returned. And he slaughters his fattest animal. They have a party, a giant feast, and the other son is bitter. He's like, but father, I was here the whole time. I never ran off with the fancy pants. How come you've never slaughtered an animal for me? Why the one who made the mistake? And the father, and I totally understand it now. This is the best version of the prodigal son ever. I totally understand it now, because the father's like, because you have always been here. What a lot of people don't understand is the hell that the prodigal son went through. The prodigal son did not have a good time. He was dead, and now he's reborn. He's back at the homestead. And the father was like, you don't need the feast. You don't need the fattest animal. You've been here the whole time. You never left. And what people don't understand is that, imagine that the prodigal son he just got pulled out of drowning in the ocean. He wasn't enjoying himself. He made a very, very, very bad decision. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Yeah, but it's not like that, though. It's as if someone was resuscitated from drowning. The prodigal son made a horrible mistake. And the father was like, to his older son that was dutiful and stayed, said, you've had this life the whole time. You never had to eat from the trough with the pigs. Like what the son that never had the party had, he never had to go through what the prodigal son went through. And the father was just trying to nurse his son back to health. And so that's the story of that. Yes, he was literally dying. Exactly. And so the party isn't necessary for the guy that didn't leave. It was a rejoice. It's as if someone came back from the dead. Don't think someone leaves to go disco. Like, it's more like Lazarus. BB, can I be verified as true secret bear? There already is one. Come up with another one, but I get it. Everything I have is yours, the father told the elders. Yeah, he never required the party because it was already there. Guys, can I please be verified? Welcome, Brexit Bear. We are all prodigal sons. Exactly. We all go out and then have to return. The father loved his son more than the lost wealth. Right. It's because it's not about the wealth. The wealth was a disease that the son ended up eating from pigs. But the father couldn't force him because there's free will. You know, you have to choose your path or else the path is irrelevant. You're just the Borg. I'm a boomer and have gone to the moon, but this is the best, funniest video. Prodigal sons, bro, never asked for a feast either. Right. I think there's a new Brexit bear every month. The bears are having all the fun. Yeah, keep preaching good news and forget about the hating evil grab wars. Right, but still mock the grab war. A lot of people don't understand the nature of the grab war because they can't defend themselves. They can't defend themselves against the grab war because the grab war eats their compassion, and it's literally killing their kids. That's why you have to put on the mask and mock the grab war so that people understand what it is. Because so many Anglo-Christians are not capable of understanding what's happening. All right, Big Bear, can I confirm? I can confirm what Wanderlust Bear said.